It's all in me. Morning, lovies. Nice to see you. Nice. How we doing? Are we all good? We're going to be bringing some content this morning on Tesco's delivery services, advice on Corona juices from the National Health Service, and we're going to be chatting about the National Health Service track and trace system. The implications, what it means. We're going to be catching up with some live stream videos from around the world on what's going on in current affairs and in the real world, right say. And I want to start with what a nation of snowflakes we are. We are just such a nation of snowflakes. It's unbelievable. All this rioting and stuff. Yeah, there's been some bad things happening, but is all this stuff measured with what's going around the world? No, I don't think it is. It's just an excuse to go rioting and looting and causing mayhem. Why? Because we're a nation of snowflakes. We're a nation of people that get their feelings hurt so easy. That's why all this stuff's going on. That's why statues are being pulled down in Bristol of slave trade owners. Now, is it a good thing? I'm not too sure, because history, every time someone walked past that statue of that guy, they were reminded of slavery and how bad it is. And it teaches us, if a mother walks past that statue of a kid and the kid goes, "Mum, who's that big geezer up there with big bronze bollocks up there? Look. Oh, he's so-and-so. He was a slave trader a few hundred years ago." "Oh, but Mum, slavery is bad, isn't it?" "Oh, yeah. You don't want to be like him." No, you don't. You don't want to be. Well, you can't be like him no more because he's in the freaking river. They turfed him. They dragged him down with rope and stuff. It was a bit like a Tarzan scene. Do you know what I mean? And they dragged him down. They've carried him. I don't know how much his balls weighs. Them bronze balls, they must have been quite weighty. They've carried him. They've carried him down to the river, and they've hurled him in the river. Why? Because they're snowflakes. Bad shit goes on. Good, decent people get on with it. They're mindful of it. They learn from it, and they don't make a big song and a dance like what's going on right now. And protesting's a fantastic thing. I advocate protesting. Yeah, peaceful, concentrated protesting. You got no idea of what you can achieve. But protesting with rioting, looting, no, thank you. No, it's an oxymoron. It's an absolute oxymoron. It's a shameful thing. But what we're seeing now in America is first time around they was all caught out. All the shopkeepers and that were all caught out. We've seen a video in the last few days where he just smashed all the windows. Oh, we're back. So yeah, so this lad's looted this shop. He's covered. He's down on the floor. It looks like he's got a sherbet dip, and the shop owner come out and pointed an automatic rifle at him. And this kid's going, don't shoot, please don't shoot me, please don't. I'm not brave." You're brave enough to break into the shop, love, and nick all my stuff. So what are we going to do? Fortunately, the patriot that had the rifle implemented his common sense and never shot the little scrote. And he was a little scrote. He really was a little scrote. But the point I'm getting to is this. In America now, all the shopkeepers, they're all out protecting their properties now with their rifles and their sidearms. And let me tell you, if you're thinking about a second wave of looting in them areas, be my guest, take your pick, because they're going to shoot you dead. They will. They're going to shoot you dead. So I don't think you're going to see COVID juices everywhere. Stand back, everybody. Stand back. Get back from your screens. Don't come too close to the screen. You're going to get COVID juices. Good job I'm in my office on my own, isn't it? Can you imagine what it'd be like if I went to Aldi and Lidl's right now with their new little green light system at the doors? You can't come in, there's a green light going on. You can't go into Lidl's now. You've got a green light and a red light. It's like jumping out of a little aeroplane with a parachute on. You're all stood there with a red light. Oh, 1,000, 2,000, no, not quite yet. Green light, go! And then everyone leaps out the plane. That's what you got now in your local Lidl's and your Aldis. You're going skydiving. You're going skydiving. I swear you are. You really are. The German superstores that swept over from Germany a few years ago, Aldi and Lidl's, crept in under the carpet, crapped, and is still crapping on us. I don't mind them, but if they carry on with this idiocy, I won't shop there no more. And I won't be putting my energy there, okay? And then they'll learn the hard way. Now, when they first come into this country, Sainsbury's, all the big ones, Tesco's, Waitrose, all the big punchers out there in the world of supermarkets. And the supermarkets, to me, have become very fascist. We're going to be getting into the nuts and bolts of Tesco's delivery services here this morning, right? All Sainsbury's, all the big ones, like they went, nah, they're never going to take, it's a fad thing, this Aldi's and Lidl's. They're never going to touch our Sainsbury's. We're so highly refined, and Marks and Spencer's, they're not going to touch our markets. No. And they poo-pooed them off like there was a piece of something on the bottom of their shoe that they'd trod in whilst they was out walking in the park, right? And not the case now, is it? Because they've pretty much taken over. But the point is, they've now got a green light, red light system in operation, and they have all these one-way traffic in and out of supermarket. My missus was up there the other day. She was looking for something. I don't know if it was in the freezer department or wherever, and someone else crossed. So she stepped out of the way. She stepped forward to make sure that this other individual that wanted their bits and bobs in the freezer department didn't get too close, or she didn't get too close to them. And when a member of staff come up to my missus and went, "Excuse me, you've got to walk all the way around again." So my missus had to, rather than argue, I just said, "What the fucking hell are you talking about?" My missus had to walk all the way, and she did, because she's lovely and compliant. This is what's going on in your supermarkets, people, because of your COVID juices. Yeah, so these are the freedoms that you're losing. All right, we're going to be getting into some nuts and bolts of stuff in a second. Just having a little chat with you lovelies this morning. Strains of first slave trade in America was a black man, Anthony Johnson, and he took it to court to make it legal to own slaves. Did he? Oh, my word. See, history. So much you learn from history, all right? So, look, I'm all up for protesting. I'm all up for civil disobedience. I'm all up for all things that are lawful. All things that are lawful, okay? Not legal, but lawful. We have lawful remedy and we have lawful excuse to do these things, because our ancestors made it so that if we found ourselves in times of trouble, that we had the lawful right and the lawful excuse to pull our energy, because that's all we are to this system, to the councils, to the supermarkets. We're just little muggles, and they just want our energy and our compliance. That's all they want, and that's all they need. That is all they need. But when we, as people, we start switching on, and we decide to walk, well, that's not level, is it? Oh, I'm getting all mixed up here. Look, it ain't. That's better. No, it's not really, is it? Let's just have it. Just bear with. Look, these are lockdown glasses, right? We've only got, well, look, actually, I'm not going to use that word no more, because when we use words, we cast spells. And if people keep going around using them words, they're going to make it reality, all right? You shouldn't be using these words. Honestly, when you use words and what comes out of your mouth, you're creating your environment. That might not make sense to a lot of you, but it certainly does to me. So be careful on the words that we're using right now, okay? Look at these racist people. Any of them heard of the book of the Three Musketeers? And it's all for Alex Demois. Sorry for the misspell of his surname. Hannah Oswald. Lovely to see you, Hannah. Words fault says noisy tone equals energy. Tone If I had a little book, do you remember at school when you used to do good stuff? You got different coloured stars. Then you got silver star, you got gold star, and you got red. You got all these different. I'd give you a gold star this morning, Tone. Make no mistake about it. You'll be up the front of the class, right? Getting that gold star placed on you. Because, mate, that's class. That's real class. So instead of protesting, it's a freedom gathering. Absolutely right. Civil disobedience is fantastic as long as it's lawful. All right. As long as you're lawful, as long as you're withholding and you're not complying and you're not doing this and you're using your brain, and there's no destruction and you're not out hurting any coppers or anybody like that. Because look, listen, the nuts and bolts of this is all that you are now in your life to this system is you are a customer. You are not a man or a woman. It always made me fascinate when the police used to put out something looking for a missing person years ago. When I first started coming into the wakey club, I thought, well, there can never be a missing person because persons are not real. Persons are missing all the time because no one owns anything. I can't come into your house, ladies and gentlemen, and if you've just had your nice little eggs and bacon in the morning, if that's your bag, and you've got your salt and pepper cellar out, and you're just whacking a nice bit of pepper on there while you're just about getting ready to tuck in, okay? I can't come up to you and whip that pepper pot out of your hand without you getting quite umpy and saying, wait, what do you think you're doing? That's mine. If I can take it, it's not yours. It's the same with your houses. It's the same with your children. It's the same with your cars. Yeah? You go along the road on your skateboard. Can a copper take your skateboard? No. Can he take your push bike? No. It's your property. Can he take your car? Yeah, he does. He takes the car. Why? Because we give him title over it. The point I'm trying to make, true equity, is if you've got something in your hand or your possession or whatever, you can't own it. We can never own anything, but it's for your use, and equity delights in equality, right? So it's for your use, it's for your benefit, it's for your life, it's for your soul, your spirit, you're in blah, 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 blah. So when a man in a uniform can come along and say, excuse me, step out the car, please, we're taking it, and they get a tow truck to come along, you have to understand it was never yours in the first place. And that's that they're outlaws. They're not. If they were still at the rule of law and they were still constables instead of officers, they would never be able to take your car. Never. So we've been dispossessed massively, massive fraud. This whole system is a complete fraud. Right. We're going to get into some stuff this morning. We're going to have a little look at the Tesco's website. Let's get back onto Screenshare. So actually, let's do this another way. That's it. I want to make that one bigger. So this is a government think tank website, whatever it is you want to call it. It's the government anyway. The government. This is we're going to have a scroll down through this page in any case. This is about travel. Okay, this is an official government website. So it says, where possible, book your travel online through your transport provider's ticketing app or website. Consider contactless payment to buy tickets. Well, they want you contactless. They want you not using cash because then they can get away with cash and then you are really properly royally screwed, right? They want a cashless society. Then you'll be like China. You'll be a credit score system. So my advice to you guys is insist on cash payments, acceptance of cash, because that's the contract, and use it as much as you can. Taking a less busy route and reducing the number of changes, for example, between bus and train. So they're telling you what to do all the time. It's autonomous. They want you to not think for yourselves. They want you to stop having an ability to do this and do that. It's like sat-navs. Sat-navs are great. They can get you from wherever you got to go to Chessington Zoo in a bit much of a straight line and not get you too lost. But the trouble is it stops you thinking for yourself and working things out rationally and actually planning ahead and enjoying the journey and seeing how good you are at navigating. So all these things, all these AI devices, all these artificial intelligence devices like smartphones for dumb people, etc., are all to stop you using your brain. All right, let's make that clear. So it says here, Public Health England. Notice it don't say the UK. Now, this has always bothered me, right? That we live in England, okay, which is the landmass, but government always talks about laws of the UK. It doesn't talk about England, does it? It doesn't say we've passed a law in England today that says we can take your kids. It's always to do with this UK corporation, which is just a company, all right? So Public Health England recommends keeping a 2-meter distance from other people where possible. This is all about compliance, by the way. This is all about you doing what you're fucking told. Excuse my French. Where this is not possible, you should try your spend near others as short as possible. You should keep the time you spend near others as short as possible and avoid physical contact. Now, ladies and gentlemen, does this apply to our beautiful, beautiful British police force? Does it apply to the 2-meter rule apply to our constabularies? Strangely enough, I don't think it does. There are rumours this morning I've seen through social media outlets that Dominic Cummings actually might be facing a private prosecution for his heinous crimes that he did the other day with his child. But that's just going to cost loads of money and pretty much get nowhere. Try to start or end your journey using the station or mode of transport you know to be quieter or more frequently, right? For instance, walk the first or last mile of your journey, or alight, which is a beautiful word. I'm alighting here, driver. Thank you. At an earlier station where it is possible. Now, here we go. What to take with you. See, because you're all so fucking dumb, sat at home. I'm going out today, love. We're going down. I'm going to go to town. Yeah, I'll fancy getting the bus, love. Oh, you be all right? Yeah, I'll be all right. I take me bag with me. I've got my purse. Yeah, I've got my card. Yeah, no, we're all right. I'll go and get some eggs and bacon and my newspaper. Do you want the newspaper? Yeah, I'll get the newspaper. Lovely. What do I need to take? Well, let's have a look online here. What you should... Oh, you've got to take a face mask, love. Well, I wear one all the time, darling. Do you not notice? Oh, dear. Yeah. I only take it off when we turn the light off. You should wear a face covering on public transport. Take care to use face coverings properly. Now that there, ladies and gentlemen, I'm using the F word this morning, and it's all described in the dictionary. If you want to get offended, go and look up the words in the Oxford Dictionary. To use face coverings properly, consider making it a list of items to take with you and minimise the luggage you take. What is it with everybody in this country that works in the system? They have to tell us what to do. Mind the step away from the edge, do this, don't smack your kids, do this. The reason why we don't smack our kids anymore and give them a little clip round the fucking leg when they've been naughty little scroats is why you've got people pulling down fucking statues in Bristol. And why you've got people going up and desecrating the cenotaph on Winston Churchill's fucking statue. Winston Churchill possibly could have been a big paedophile. There are stories that he did enjoy young boys, right? Now, that would need to be proven in a court of law, okay? Because where you bring a claim, you must bring the facts. There's a good chance he was. I don't know. I wasn't around back then. But Winston Churchill saved this country from the Nazi invasion. And does he have a right to be on a statue representing all the fallen that died in them wars? We know what the wars were about. We're living in a modern era. We kind of know what the wars was all about, the First World War and Second World War. Does he have a right to be there? Yeah, I think he does. Millions and millions and millions of people give their life. And on the 6th of June, they went across to Normandy after being stuck in their ships and vessels for 24 hours because the weather was so bad that they had to wait 24 hours knowing that they were pretty much going to a certain fucking death on the beaches of Normandy. And then they set sail on the 6th of June. Absolute carnage. They didn't land on the beaches and fucking put on sunscreen, people, and put a lilo down and a fucking beach towel and start getting their fruity bits out. They faced German machine gun towers and bombs and bullets and Christ knows what else, but they did it so that you could all be free. Now, whether you like that or not, that's the truth. So the reason why people are defecating, oh, well, they are. There was a guy pissing up the thing the other day. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes when you're caught short, you might do things you wouldn't normally do. But the point is, that's exactly the reason, because the state has become the nanny. Oh, you can't do this. They come round and pay you a visit. That's exactly why we're where we're at, and that's why all this Black Lives Matter and all this violence is happening, and that's why this woman copper's now in hospital with a broken collarbone, and that's why the horse is probably scared shitless to go out on the streets anymore. Personally, I don't think the police should use horses. I think if they want to fight battles, fight them yourself. Why use a fucking animal? It's a cowardly thing to do. I hate the fact that they use horses. I really do. Especially in this modern era. What is that all about? They got Boris fucking push bikes. Why don't they just jump on a Boris push bike? Wouldn't that be easier for them? Throw the Boris push bikes into the crowd of Black Lives Matters. Look, all lives matter. I don't care what fucking colour you are. Oh, we're using the F word this morning, aren't we? Ooh! So, the reason why all this bad stuff's happening, all these riots are going, all this looting, is because of the state has deemed it that we can't chastise our property, our children, as we see fit, and bring common sense and decency and morals. This is the reason why all of this stuff is going on. All right. So, as you can see, we are told what to do all the time. And the spread of this COVID juice is a weapon, because it's divide and rule. It's divide and conquer. Okay. Because you've got people out there that believe it, that it's really happening, and you've got people out there that are questioning it. Now, I'm someone that's questioning it. I know that people are dying. I know that people do have some sort of sufferance at the moment. Okay. I do know that. We're not stupid. But what's happened is you've seen the columns split. So what you've got out there in the real world, when you go out and intercourse in your shopping centres, down your Wickses, your B&Qs, is you've got people, they've been so heavily divided on this issue that they're all now taking chunks out of one another. And the government is just basically sitting back and fucking laughing. And that's what this COVID juice situation is all about. It's about divide and conquer, divide and rule. Okay? So it says here, the risk of infection, the closer you are to another person, well, we know persons ain't real, with the virus and the amount of time you spend in close contact, you are very unlikely to be affected from just walking past another person. Again, persons ain't real. There may be situations where you can't keep a suitable distance from people, but for example, when boarding or alighting, I do like that word, on busier services at busier times of day when walk. So look, basically, this is giving you a list of how to be. They're telling you how to be, how to go about your daily. Who are these people? Do this, do that. Well, I might not want to do what you say. So it says here, you should wear face covering on public transport. It's not saying it's mandatory, by the way. Take care to use your face coverings properly. Well, you use your face covering. You're touching your face all the time with your dirty hands. And don't forget, a virus can get in through your nose, also your mouth and your eyes. So are you covering your eyes? But look, I've got a handle on this because I've ordered up a new mask that's come in. I'm going to be doing my live feeds with this new mask on. And we've got the rainbow here, gorgeous rainbow. This is all to do with the Pedogate stuff, by the way. that this is all to do with the Petergate and normalisation of all that stuff. But I'm going to get into that another day. So I've got a new mask coming, ladies and gentlemen, through eBay, and it is a Darth Vader mask. So I was going to get a Luke Skywalker one, but they're so pricey. So I figured let's have a little walk on the dark side. So I've got a Darth Vader mask coming. So if I do actually go out on the buses or go to Lidl's and I have to wear a mask, I'm going in as the Dark Lord, let me tell you. So this is the NHS Track and Trace app, how it will work. Now, ladies and gentlemen, may I make a little thing to you, because I need you to all to be like ghosts nowadays, all right? It's a heinous situation we find ourselves in, but if you can get them for about £8 to a tenner. Do away with these, leave these at home, just use them on your Wi-Fi and get yourself a little Nokia 8310, which works just fine with an unbelievable battery life of about 5 days. So you can just receive texts and phone calls, and your track and trace won't work. We know that people have been going in and out of supermarkets and shopping centres with their mobile phones, their smartphones for dumb people. And it's been coming up, and they're tracking who's going in, who's not going in, who's got the app, who's not got the app, and you're getting text messages saying you should be at home, you should be isolating. Talk about Big Brother. So that's the easiest way out of that. Or failing, if you can't afford the £8 to £10 for an 8310, Nokia 8310, just leave your phone at home, all right? You don't need them all the time. You just don't, all right? Have a leap of faith. Go into town, leave your phone at home, put it on the side. I know you're going to find it hard, all right? It's going to be really difficult for you to just leave your phone at home, but it's actually kind of liberating. So the NHS track and tracing app could help lift the lockdown measures. See, there's always a clincher with this government, always a clincher. With Britain in, I'm not going to use the word, the government has been and you just caught me out there because I used it, didn't I? I'm telling you. Oh, we've got Jim Davison on YouTube now, guys. I don't know if you remember Jim Davison, Nick and all that. Chalky White, you know, back in the day, fantastic comedian, politically incorrect, but I kind of like politically incorrect people. I really do. He's now got his YouTube channel up and running, and Jim's putting out some good common sense approach to your daily activities and your daily life. So God bless Jim Davidson. Jim, continue and crack it on, my son. So the government has been racing. Oh, they love it. They race to find something. Ways to ease restriction with putting public safety at risk without putting public safety at risk. Now, look, I've never met anyone that's a member of the public, all right? I don't even know what this public thing is. I know it's a word, but I've only ever met men and women, brothers and sisters. That's all I've ever met. I've never met anybody that is a member of the public. I say, are you a member of the public? Well, no, I'm not. I'm John. Oh, okay. Are you a member of the public, madam? No, I'm Shirley. I've just come out to get a bag of sugar. All right. I've never, ever met a member of the public. Never have done. It's a fiction. It only exists on paper, to be fair. So one solution is contact tracking app that can enable digital contact tracing on a larger scale, right? The government has revealed of the app, which is being tested on the Isle of Wight. So David Icke's in trouble. Oh, Ike, you ain't leaving your flat, son. You best stay and write a few more novels. That's all I'm saying. And is expected to be launched to the rest of the UK too. If it proves successful, the app went live on the island on May the 5th. Well, it ain't hard to sort the Isle of Wight out because it's pretty tiny. Beautiful, beautiful place. Tennyson Downs, Blackgang Chine. You got, what was that theme park? Was that a Blackgang Chine, isn't it? I'm trying to think what the theme park was. Beautiful. You used to have lovely times down there at them places on the Isle of Wight. It's gorgeous. So they're testing this track and trace thing out on the Isle of Wight. So it looks like the people of the Isle of Wight are pretty fucked right now. The UK, see, we've gone from public health England, and now we've come back to the UK. It's very confusing, isn't it? It's really confusing. I'd love to see the word UK fucked off out of it. Excuse me. I am going to use the F word this morning, people. I'm sorry if it offends anybody, but it's in the dictionary. And if you get triggered by a couple of little blasphemy swear words, and you don't get triggered by all the stuff that the government's doing to us and all the rioters, then I don't know what to say. The UK is planning to use train teams to find people who's got the symptoms of the Rona juice, who will make thousands of calls a day to track the spread of Corona juice, all of which will be complemented by the... So I don't want none of you out there spreading your Corona juices, all right? Put a Darth Vader mask on. Go and sit in a corner, face the corner and say, I've lost all my rights, I've lost all my rights, I've lost all my rights, I've lost all my rights. Say it 1,000 times, it might kick in. My mate's missus come round the other day, and I see her and her mate out walking the other day, and they were chatting about me. So a lot of people chat about me that I don't know that goes on, and they were chatting about, she said, oh, he's a conspiracy theorist, isn't he? He's that Dave. He's a conspiracy theorist. So I said, do you know what? When people call you a conspiracy theorist, I said, do you know what it means? She went, no. I said, it means that people are too fucking lazy to go and research for themselves, and that's the truth. It just shuts it all down. Oh, he's a conspiracy theory. Oh, you just shut it all down. You can't be asked to go and research the real truth for yourself. It doesn't matter. It's your prerogative. But that's exactly what happens. The UK is planning to use train teams to find people who have corona symptoms, blah, 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 all of which will be complemented. Oh, it's going to be a complement, ladies and gentlemen, of the contract tracing app. So, yeah, on May the 27th, the UK reveals details of its manual track and trace system. For now, this is without a contact tracing app. The UK Test and Trace chief, Dido Harding, I guess her mother didn't like her calling her Dido. It's a shame there ain't an L in there, isn't it? Dildo Harding. Can you imagine? That'd be like shaving Ryan's privates, wouldn't it? Refused to put a timeline on when the app would be launched. But what exactly is contract tracing? Can it really uplift the measures? And when will it be available? How does it work? Oh, Zippy, a contract tracing app is designed to let people know if they have been in close contact with someone who later reports positive for the COVID juice. Look, it's just to strip you of your rights, really. You have no rights. You really do have no rights, ladies and gentlemen, right now. I personally don't think you do. And is this little virus, whatever it is it worth losing all your God-given rights for? Is it right that you could be dragged off a bus, dragged off a train by the Gestapo, or attacked by someone out there that's just had a meltdown and hyperventilating, and the fact that you won't put a mask on? And they're out there, and you know they're out there because they live in such fear. And where's the fear come from? The TV, the BBC, the Channel 4. Fortunately, they're losing their narrative. Not too many people tune in with that gig no more. And it's a fantastic thing that people are now deciding not to tune in and go with social media. And you should, because you're going to get your mashed potatoes and your peas and carrots on your social media. You're going to be seeing real live things happening in real time. Trust me, you are. And this is what we've got to do. Keep in touch with all your social media. I tell you, you've got no idea how valuable this medium is right now. I mean, proper valuable. It really, really is valuable, because you're seeing firsthand what's actually going on in the world. Do you think that the BBC would show it in such graphic content like we do? No, it wouldn't. It just wouldn't. There's no way it's happening. It just wouldn't. It's sad. It's just so sad. Tourist lands at Heathrow, admits he's sick. And see, we have over 10,000 people come to this country every day. Every day. 10,000 people come into this country every day, all right, from all destinations worldwide. Are they isolating? We're going to have a little look at Prince Andrew in a second. I know it's going to disturb a lot of people, but this guy thinks he's not. He thinks he's above the law. What you got to understand is, people, the royals have immunity from prosecution. Yeah, they hide behind anonymity. I don't know if you know that. So all the time that America's calling out for extradition of Prince Andrew, etc., 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 it's not. I can't see it ever happening. In truth, I really can't, because have I shared this screen? I think I have, haven't I? Let me see. I just need to see this screen's come up. We want to get into nuts and bolts of Prince Andrew this morning. I think we have. I think I've streamed it out. Yeah, I have. Yeah. Oh, I think my thing's just playing a little while. Can you give me some 5x5s if you can see Prince Andrew on your screen right now? I think you can. Let me just wait for my thing to catch up. Yeah, here we go. I think you should be able to. I've shared it. So 5x5s, anyone, if you could. I think you can see me screen. I just think my thing's lagging. Let me just come out of that and I'm going to start it again. I don't think I'm in real time. I need to see what you can see. Yes, you can. You can see it. Right. So you can see Prince Andrew. So this is Prince Andrew's come out and he's now in a defensive mode. He looks like he ain't messing. But please remember that the royals have an immunity from prosecution. All right.
Decided that now is the time to fight back against claims from America that Prince Andrew has been refusing to talk to authorities about Jeffrey Epstein. In an unexpected statement, they said the Duke of York has on at least 3 occasions this year offered his assistance as a witness to the Department of Justice.
I'm just going to silence that. You can see this coming up on here. We're going to pause this. Unfortunately, the DOJ has reacted to the first 2 offers by breaching their own confidentiality rules and claiming that the Duke was offered zero cooperation in doing so. They are perhaps seeking publicity rather than accepting the assistance pro-offered. And that's from Andrew's legal team. Now, look, for me, the legal system is a smokescreen. It is what the whole system hides behind. It hides behind this legal system, and it's foreign to our land. It's not been with us overly that long, to be fair, but they hide behind this. But in any case, they can try and extradite, but the royals are immune from prosecution. They're protected. They cannot suffer any. You cannot bring any claim against the Queen or any member of the royal family. You just can't. So the Americans, really, unless they understand that, they're wasting their time. They really, really are. President Trump apparently this morning has said that he's going to be looking into pulling a lot of American troops out of Germany. Apparently Angela Merkel has said something and she's offended him, and he's now looking to pull lots of American troops out of Germany, which in one respect is a good thing, but looking at Germany's history over the last century or two, maybe a little bit catastrophic. So here we go. Let's just go back there and have a little read of that bit. Epstein investigation. The Prince has not given an interview to federal authorities, has repeatedly declined our request to schedule such an interview. And he has the right to, because he has immunity. All right. Prince Andrew's not stupid. He knows he's exempt from prosecution. Okay. all royal family members are exempt from prosecution. They have an immunity. Is that right? I don't think so. Remember that the law is equal to all. And that's why the woman has the scales of justice on the Old Bailey, because they're 50-50. So should Prince Andrew be immune from private prosecution, especially with what's come to light? No, I don't think so. I mean, obviously he goes to Pizza Hut round at Woking, but said, it's a very, very unusual thing for him to do. He said he had to go because Eugenie and Beatrice needed a piss, and they had a pizza while they were there. But the point is this man's times are logged. There's journals kept on his every movement, all right? Wherever this man goes, there's a log for it. They keep massive logs on all his engagements, where he went. So for him to say that he was at Woking Pizza Hut, it's fantastic, but there should be the proof, yeah? Because anything ever happens to the royals in the interest of the people of this country that want to know what's gone on, there will be a chronological record of his movements, and including his bowel movements, I have no doubt. So the Prince has not given an interview to federal authorities, has repeatedly declined our request to schedule such an interview. He's not stupid. And nearly 4 months ago informed us unequivocally through the very same council who issued today's release that he would not come in for such an interview. Why was he so bold in making that statement to US Attorney Jeffrey S. Berman? Well, because the royals have immunity from prosecution. All right? That's a given. We're not lying here. That's how it is. They're immune from private prosecution. And that's just how it is. So he's not stupid, and he's a smug. They're a law unto themselves. They're a law unto themselves. Look, there's no kids around. I bet they're all running away. It's like, oh, get me out of the way of him. Where's Epstein? Professor of Law, Birkbeck, University of London, Bill Bowring. What's Bill's Bowring's having a chat about? I love the tash, Bill. Loving the tash. So, Prince Andrew there. I've got to be careful with when I tap into there's just look. Now that, kids, look, what you could do with this picture is if you screenshot what we're doing right now, all right, put it through your scanner, print it off, and laminate it. I promise you, if you put a picture like this in your front window, it will keep the burglars away. And if you put it on your fireplace, it will keep the kids off the fire. Trust me. They won't go near that fire if you print this off and chuck that up on your mantelpiece. So the point I'm getting to is if I play all the noise, the volume and play that entirety with Sky News, BBC and that, they come in with copyright claims. And so the news is copyrighted because they're making profits out of it. It's sad, isn't it? It's sick, isn't it? What a sick world. This is something else I don't understand. All this kneeling bollocks. I don't get it, and I never will. Look, here we go. Nancy Pelosi here. Let's just. She looks like. If you take a close look at Nancy here, she looks a bit like Michael Jackson. Are you feeling that? Obviously a shorter version, but if she come out on stage like that and they just dubbed up Michael Jackson in the background, I would say pretty convincing. But here we go. All these people, all these do-gooders, right? These people are do-gooders. That's all they are, right? And they're playing a narrative. No, it's not Michael. It is, in fact, Nancy Pelosi. Look, they've all got their masks on. Oh, she took it off. Oh, so this is a show to the world of our. I wouldn't take a knee. I wouldn't take a knee for anything. Why are you bending down and taking a knee? It don't make sense. Why are you doing that? It's begging. We're not a nation of beggars, are we? Oh, please. No, I'm sorry. I'll pay respect, but I'll pay respect in my own ways. But this is pathetic. Apparently, 700 law enforcement officers in America have been injured. I think there's been about 20 or 30 killed during all these riots and stuff. Oh, she's checking her pants. Look. Oh, yeah. Well, I think something just fell out there. So look, they're all bending down, taking the knee. What a bunch of crock of shit. There's Tito Jackson at the back there, look, with his blue hat on. Lovely jubbly. Yeah, I'm a natural born Mickey taker, ladies and gentlemen. It is right that what went on with Floyd is disgraceful. But I didn't see a black man getting murdered. I see a man get murdered by a cop. That's what I see. I don't know what else you see, but that's what I see. I don't do all this. This life matters. That life matters. All life matters. All life matters. All right. Living in a box. Yeah, I played that yesterday. That's what we're all living in. Wow! I'm living in a box. Here you go. Look, COVID juice all over the internet now. Common question: stay at home. Stay at home and stay safe. Stay sure.